Welcome, everyone. Good boy, Tucker. This is learning at its most fun.
Good morning or good afternoon. My name is Austin Johnson, subject matter expert and trainer here at Redtail Technology. Thank you for joining us for yet another edition of Building Your Tech Stack with Redtail CRM. Today, we have our friends from Quik Forms. We're going to be talking about how to launch Quik from Redtail and more. So Quik brings in over 133 fields of data into Redtail, which is going to allow for you to pre-fill forms, and every signable form is ready to go out directly for e-signature. And so to help discuss that today, I brought in the CEO and co-founder of Quik. We have Rich. Rich, good morning.
Good morning. Good afternoon, everybody. Pleasure to be here today.
Awesome. Rich, thanks for joining us. Before we get to today's demo, I wanted to just get to know you a little bit better. Can you tell us a little bit about who you are and your role at Quik?
Sure. Yeah. As you said, I'm the Quik CEO. This all started because back in the 90s, I was a successful technologist who decided to become a financial advisor. And lo and behold, you work really hard to earn somebody's trust, respect, and then they say, yeah, let's invest with you. And what do you get to do? You get to handwrite their forms. And I thought, man, I'm going to make $4 an hour filling out forms. So I built technology that would do it and everybody else wanted it. And here we are 20 years later with Forms library and forms automation for the industry.
Yeah, it's funny, Rich. Redtail and Quik have had one of the longest standing integration relationships. I actually came across earlier a conference card from way back. I think the year was 2005 or 2006, where we both had a pamphlet demonstrating how Quik and Redtail work together. So this integration has been a long time standing. Redtail and Quik were one of the first people into this fintech industry, and it's so great to have such a long-standing partner with Quik. Rich, just in case there's anybody that's unfamiliar with Quik, can you just kind of briefly summarize sort of what Quik is? And more than that, can you kind of just tell us, why should I care as an advisor? How is this going to save me time or money?
Yeah, no, it's a really good question. And also I'll echo that sentiment about working together for so long. So when you think about your processes in financial management, you go get a client who says, I need to open an account, or I need to move money, or I need to transfer money out, whatever. There's lots of different transactions that all rely on paper forms and applications being filled out. And that would be fine if you just had one company's forms to work with. But the truth is, a lot of people do direct business with American Funds, or custodial business with Schwab and TD and Fidelity, or they have broker-dealer forms and they have clearing firm forms. And suddenly you're struck with, oh my gosh, 5, 10, 20, 30 companies of forms I got to get. How do I get it? So what we decided to do is build a comprehensive library today that's over 38,000 forms across the wealth management industry, be able to take in customers' proprietary forms, and then we make them all work the same way so that you can fill them out and streamline your business. So the overall benefit, which I'll talk a little bit more about, but the overall benefit is to make your life easier, to enjoy the work that you're doing, and really give you back the time that you should be spending with your client versus with the paperwork.
Yeah, I think that's a huge value add, Rich, the ability to have all of those forms centralized in one place. And then today's webinar, we'll learn that we can actually refill all those forms with Redtail. So if you could, Rich, could you give us a little bit of a demo on how that process works?
Yeah, so I'll switch screens now. Is that okay?
Yeah, take it away.
How do I do that? Oh, share screen. Here we go.
Yep.
I swear I am a technologist. We will get there.
There we go. And we can see
All
your
right.
line, Rich.
Good. So I'm going to keep the slides brief because I want to really get into the tech and answer people's questions. But I think there's a really important question people have to think about. Why do we care about forms? I mean, really, yeah, it's a tactical work job you have to do. But really, why do we care about forms? Is because the companies and the advisory offices that are focused on growth, they're the ones who recognize I have to create an amazing customer experience. How I onboard that customer, how I treat that customer, how I service that customer. And we've seen, and you can see this with Gartner Group studies, Microsoft studies, and our own study, our customers have been the ones that have driven their growth. And I'm not trying to say that we take responsibility for that growth. I mean, these companies are doing a lot of things to improve their experience and improve their numbers, but I think there's a lot of correlation for why they're attracted to our products, because we make that experience easier. I'm sure we can all relate. I personally have had this experience where I work with a life insurance agent, and at the end of the process, he says, here's 78 pages, fill it out. I literally walked away from that deal because I didn't want to deal with the paperwork. So if we can make that easier, I think we make everybody's life happier and better. So I told a little bit about our story because I didn't like filling out paperwork, and everybody around me started saying, I don't like filling out paperwork. So how do I change this and fix that problem? Our goal is really streamline this experience and make paperwork the easiest part of every transaction, not the hardest part. And a really fun fact about our company is that we generate so many forms electronically now that we save over a tree worth of paper every hour of every day. And we can show our customers their direct input to that because we actually go plant these trees with Arbor Day Foundation. So I can give you a report that says you have actually contributed to this many trees going into the ground. Now, what is it we do? We are the forms company. We have been hyper-focused on doing two things exceptionally well. So number one is we manage the forms. Every form that enters our library is built to the same exact standard. It's fillable, it's interactive, it's secure, they're signable. This is actually out of date. It's 38,000 forms. That enables our second part, which is forms delivery. And we enable the ability to put a form in front of the user who needs it at the exact time they need it within their process and on the device that they're using. So this works across multiple devices very easily. Today, I'm going to talk about our turnkey product, but we also have been API focused, which is to say we can sell all the component functions of our product individually and work with partners to make the integrations even better. And Austin, this is what Redtail's been doing for the last several months, is building an integration to make it a better experience for Redtail users with Quik. So why do companies come to us? Well, I think the reasons you're going to see are saving time. Who likes filling out paperwork by hand or typing in information over and over again? To streamline the process, we can go way beyond just filling out the form. You can sign it, you can submit that for approval, you can share data with back-end systems like your broker-dealer. You can also eliminate errors. We see customers, they apply required fields on forms, they eliminate 95% of the errors right out of the box. But ultimately, and I think I've said this, is let's make people happy. Let's make it easier for them to get the work done, process the work that's been submitted, etc. So why Quik and Redtail? Well, it's because we can make your forms faster. Number one thing to us is we're a service-oriented company. I've got other people on this call from my company who are on the service team, and they make sure that we answer live chats, we answer our phones, we answer our emails, we do it in a timely manner, like within an hour, I think is our standard right now, maybe 2. We pride ourselves in giving outstanding service. It's actually a cornerstone of our company culture. And hopefully the product is amazing for you guys, but really I want to make sure our service is number one. The second is our field mapping. Austin, you mentioned it. We have over 130 Redtail fields that we can fill out on a form, but actually it's better than that because that's 130 fields to define a person or an account. And you can put unlimited number of people on the document. So literally we can fill out thousands and thousands of fields across forms. And as I mentioned, our library is over 38,000 and it continues to grow every month. So that's it. I'm going to now jump into demo and give you guys a real feel for how this works. And I hope you guys are putting questions together that you want to ask me. And now this should look familiar. Great friendly face. I'm going to sign in to Redtail here. And look, I'm going to tell you, I'm not a Redtail expert, so I'm not going to demonstrate adding clients or something else that Redtail's so good at. But I do want to show you how easy it is to move over to Quik once you're in the Redtail product. So I presume this all looks very familiar to people. And I've got a little screen here I got to hide. Oh, wrong click. Hold on a second here. All right. If you look up at the top of the integrations, you're now going to see the Quik Forms integration. And I hope this is familiar. You can also just type Q to get there, find it really quickly. And what this does is it gives you the ability to do a single sign-on right into Quik. This is so easy now to get into Quik. You're in Redtail most of your day. You're working with clients, and then they say, hey, let's roll over that 401k. So what are you going to do? You click that integration, takes you over to Quik, signs you in automatically. Now I'll tell you, the first time you do this, it's going to prompt you to log into Quik. And you just enter your Quik credentials. And if you don't have credentials, you can sign up immediately. And well, this isn't a secret. We're going to give out a discount so that you guys can sign up and make it easier. But once you're here, you can continue with the process. And so, for example, let's say, let's go back here. Let's say I'm working with a client. My favorite client is Peter Parker. So I go find Peter Parker here in Redtail. I'm on his account and I say, okay, let's fill out forms for Peter here. So again, I'll go to Quik. And I'm going to show you there's actually two different things here. Single sign-on is the login event. There is a new feature. It's still in development. So this is going to sign you in, but it's not perfect. But it's send Peter Parker's data to Quik Forms. And this will just automatically push Peter's information in. So it's the same thing as a single sign-on. It takes you right into the forms, logs you in. One of the things that we've done is we've built a really strong integration from Quik to Redtail. So even though I can't show you the send to Quik, I will show you how easy it is to fill out forms. So I mentioned Peter Parker called me and said, hey, I want to roll over my 401k to an IRA. That's what you suggested I do. Let's do it. So I'm going to go pull up my forms. Trustman is my fictitious company, and I'm going to pull up the forms I use most to do that type of transaction. You'll see the 3 forms are selected. They're in the shopping cart basket. I can move them around if I want. But I can also go add additional forms. So you can search our entire library, name a company like American Funds. That's who I sold most when I was an advisor. And you'll see that we have all the forms from that company. We strive to get every single form a company will give us. That way you find the form when you need it. I guarantee we have forms in here that are never used, and I'm totally fine with that. If you need it, it should be here. You'll notice some hearts. You can actually favorite the forms that you use the most, and they'll show up here on the favorites list. And that way you can very quickly find forms you use a lot. Or you can follow companies. You can say, oh, I only work with a handful of companies. I don't want to search the whole list. You can add those to a followed companies list. The other thing I'll note here is that we do mark which forms are signable. The companies we work with tell us which forms are signable, and we maintain that here. And as long as all the forms in the basket are signable, then you can e-sign. If anyone says no, then you won't be able to e-sign. All right, so let's say we've got the forms we want. The next step is go get our Redtail person. So I said Peter Parker called. I'm going to just quickly search for Peter, see how fast it brings it back. And you'll notice over here all the different roles. These are all the people that we know exist on the forms that you selected. Now think about this. If you chose annuity, you should see annuitant here. Or if you chose insurance, you'd see insured here. These roles change based on the forms you selected. And it gives you a pretty good indication of how to fill out the form. And so now I can do additional searches and find more people. So if I'm going to put Mary Jane as a beneficiary, if I want to find more people to add into the roles, I can do that. I also have my financial advisor information here. I have my commission numbers, G numbers, whatever those might be, and I can choose those numbers. And I can do that for all the roles on here. I'm not going to waste your time picking people out, but you can see we can just go back to Redtail and add more people. And this to me is a huge benefit because you may have established relationships. Like I know this person's married to this person, they have these 2 kids, but just because you're doing a joint account doesn't mean those spouses are going to be the co-owners. This allows you to pick literally anybody from your CRM to fill out on the form for the purpose you have. Okay, last step, finalize what you're doing. We support eSign with DocuSign and Signex. We have our own called native eSign, which I'm not recommending unless it's for internal purposes. But for approvals like DocuSign, you see the forms that you've selected, you see the people and the roles you've placed them in, and even what form IDs they show up on. And next, we just launch the forms. So what is Quik doing now? Quik is calling over to Redtail to get the people's data. It's calling to the Quik engine to get the forms. It's merging them together and putting them here on a brand new window. You'll notice that all the pages are in line together. So you're not tabbing through pages, you're just scrolling. There's a page list here. You've also got the ability to navigate form by form. And here's a cool thing. I didn't have the middle name in Redtail. I'm sure I could, but I'll just type it here once. And you'll notice if I go back to form number 1, it automatically typed it. And if I keep adding to it, it pushes it everywhere on the form. So this is what we call our progressive fill capability. And this is built on our field definition. The fact that we've defined all these fields means the data flows throughout all the documents. So you can see we have a lot of information that pre-fills here. If we go through more pages, we've got bank information that can appear. You've got the financial advisor, the beneficiary, We can do some complex things as well. I'm not sure if this form's going to show it or not. Maybe, yeah, look, we can check boxes, citizenship, marital status. So our ability to pull in information is probably the best with Redtail versus any other CRM we have. We've put the most effort into it. It was the first one we launched with, and it has the most fields, which gives you a very rich experience for filling out forms. You'll also notice something else, these red boxes. Now this is optional. I set this up on my account, but this enables you to say what fields are required so that you ensure you fill out forms more effectively. Now with all this, I can save my work and come back later. Let's see if I can remember what day it is. Is it the 27th? 26th, okay. So I can give it any name I want. And then this saves the data, not the form. And why is that important? Because the forms can change over time. I can now jump back to the home page, go to my saved forms. Here is that set of forms. And really it's the set of data tied to these forms. And now if I waited a week and one of these forms changed and you launch it again, you're gonna get the latest version of the document. So you're never out of date. You can also print. This will create the print perfect version of the document in PDF format. You can download it. You can actually create this to be editable too if you want to continue filling it out. The downside to that is you can't sign the PDF, not unless you're doing printing. And then finally, the e-signature is really, really easy. Remember I was talking about roles? This is why we designed roles, is for signing, because you want to know who is signing in what role in the documents. We pull information right off the form. You can specify how they're going to sign. So if you're sitting in person, you can change it. If you want to do identity check, SMS, or other identities, you can change that. And then everybody's going to get this message. You can even add carbon copy people that you want to receive. There's actually so much more I'm not going to get into. But we really streamline this. And now if I hit send, all you're going to do is get an email. You're going to click and sign, click and sign, click and sign. You're not tagging fields. You're not dragging and dropping. You're not setting up the document because we did all that. So going back, let's just do this one more time. It's really easy to do. You find Quik in your list of integrations. You can choose single sign-on or send to Quik forms. And then, as I mentioned, the send to Quik forms will send the data over to Quik. We've just a couple more things that we're working through to make that happen. So we recommend using the single sign-on for now and then just picking the people that you want to fill out the forms.
Thank you so much for your time today. I'm excited for the new things that Quik has built and a lot of the cool things that Quik is going to build. This was really insightful and we really appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you very much. I really appreciate everybody who took the time to watch this today. I hope that you'll at least try it if you haven't. And if it's been a while, try it again. Talk to Kim on or Josh or Ben on our team. They're more than happy to help you get set up and running. And Austin, thank you so much for being a great host and having us be part of this today.
My pleasure. Thanks, Rich. Have a great day. Bye, everybody.
All right, thank you.
Thanks so much for joining us today for this particular session. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to give us a call at 800-206-5030, option 3 for support, or just shoot us an email over to support@redtailtechnology.com. Thanks a lot and have a great day.